Okay. So for the schema modifications, when you get out into when you're a software engineer and you're working on applications that are already exist in the world and they already have existing databases, applications aren't static. What I mean by that is that they don't not change. They're always changing. Like software is a never-ending process. Just because you build it once and it works once doesn't mean it's not going to work. Doesn't mean it's going to work tomorrow. And as applications scale, the needs of the database will change. You're going to have to add columns. You're going to have to add more tables. You're going to have to change data types within the tables. And when you are working on a production server that has users, real live users, like production users in there, you can't be dropping your table all the time just to reload the table. You're going to lose all your data. And data is king, and your entire business is going to go under in that same day if you do that. So with the schema modifications challenge, we're going to be modifying the databases, the tables in place, so you're actually not dropping any data. So let's go ahead and get started. So the schema modifications, I'm just going to clone this specific. Let's make a directory. SQL delete SQL git clone cd into schema. I'm going to open up the code, create. Okay. So we have some boilerplate schema file that will actually create a customer, primary key, and statements. So I don't know, this could be like a bank or something, like a financial institution. Oh wait, customers, gallons used.
So it's a water.
Oh yeah, let's go. Okay. Current schema, yeah, the city's water department.
It's about like what I expect Chicago to figure from everything that it looks like.
All right. I'm going to create a database. How do I create a database? City, water.
Chicago water.
Oh my God. So I created a water department database, and I'm going to go into the water department database to see if anything exists. PSQL, water. All right, how do I?
\D.
All right, \D. Yep, so no tables have been created. How do I quit out of the Silas? D?
You
said Control D.
Oh. Control D. Oh, that works too. All right. So I'm going to run this create schema file, the SQL file, and create a schema. So how do I, John, how do I import this newly created tables into the water department database?
So you use the vSQL, and then you put the database name, water department, left arrow, and then they create schema management.
Okay. All right. Notice table customer does not exist. All right, skipping that. Now it's dropping the table. Let's go into the database. So I'm PSQLing into the database. And let's see if those tables exist now. \D. Cool. Got customers and statements. Customers, statements. So let's bring up post-to-co. See what that looks like. So here's my post-to-co. Do I have water department? It's not in here. I got to refresh. There we go. Water department. Got two tables. ID, first name, last name, statements, all this stuff. Great. Let's go back to the challenge. What is this? Oh, bills. Cool. Save your schema. All right. Make sure what you have entered it. Cool. So now we're going to create a migration file. This is where we're going to have all the migrations, all the changes that we're going to be creating and applying to the database. Exit out. So I'm going to create a migrations SQL file. I'll list out to see it. There it is right here. Now I'm going to open the migrations. All right. Close the create schema file out. So for customers, I'm going to just copy the stuff into my migrations just so I can reference. So both columns, first and last, have ambiguous names. Rename them that. First name, last name. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to go down here in the terminal and look at that specific table. So I'm PSQLing into the water department. How do I view the specific table, Jordan?
\D, type of
\D. If I want to view just the table, it's \D. What was it? Customers. And the table name is always plural. Okay. Column, the first, last. I don't know what that necessarily means. Pretty ambiguous. Could be the, I don't know, first statement. I'm not sure. So we provided you this alter table statement link. It's a pretty good documentation on what the alter table statement does. So it adds columns in the add a column, alter table. So it looks like we take an alter table query, the name of the table, and we add that. So if we want to add a column, how do we change a column? Alter table, add supplier name, modify column. That's what we need right here. Syntax. Alter table, table name, modify, another keyword, the name of the column, column type.
Depending on, you only look for one for PostgreSQL.
The actual one is further down.
Actual one is further down. Let's go down.
Which facets type?
Oh.
So here,
There's the syntax.
Oh, right here. Alter column, type, Oracle modify. Does modify look like one?
that's like Oracle.
There's actually one that's for changing the names.
Keep going. It's all about reading. Column name. Keep going. Jesus.
Rename the column.
Ah, there we go. That's awesome. Rename. There we go. Alter table name, rename column, old name to new name. So I'm going to use that as a reference right here. So the table name is customers. Old name is first to first name. Now I'm going to run this file. Now we're going to run this migrations file and see what happens. So PSQL, water department.
Yes. So yes.
and then migrations, alter table, so nothing broke, good. So I'm gonna go up and SQL into our database. I'm gonna go in our database, and I wanna see that the customers, and see what happens. We can see right here the first name is changed. Let's go back up to our old one, first name. Yes. I think I'm recording it. Now, how can we do this multiple times? Or let's just do one at a time. Let's go and do customers, rename column, last name, so that should work. And it says because the current column type of the first and last are text, these columns have almost no limit to how much content they can store. We've noticed garbage registrations with the first and last name over 20 kilobytes. Change the column types of these to bar chart with a max character count. So it looks like right here they don't have a max yet. So let's go back. How do we redo types? Type, supplier name, right here, type, right here, awesome. So I'm just going to do this, copy this as a reference. This, customers. Is it last first name? And type, is it varchar they want? Is it lowercase or uppercase? Or does it not matter? 255. Oops. Can I do it all in one? How do I do that? Just
That becomes a comma,
this becomes a comma.
and then you just go down to the next line. Just
The last name. Great. So baby steps. Let's run this code.
semicolon.
Oh,
That is-
thank you. What happens if I do a comma?
Just ask. Just do it later. Yeah, syntax there.
So I'm going to exit out of the database. I'm going to reload this migrations file. Let's see what happens.
Skipping.
Error column first does not exist.
That's
Okay. Let's go into our database. Oh.
One thing that we actually ran into, we tried to group it all together, is that all renaming columns, you cannot group them.
Renaming the columns, you can't group them. Is that correct? What happens if you do? What?
It gives you a syntax error and doesn't do it.
Doesn't like it.
Let's see what that happens. I'm gonna comment this out. I just want to see what happens if we try to if we put all this together.
Yes.
If we try to essentially do altering the columns, like renaming the columns, kind of like we did right here. We just only have one alter table, and then we actually rename the column. Let's see what happens.
It tells you that the column doesn't exist because you already changed it.
You can rerun the first.
So I'm actually gonna essentially start from scratch. So I'm going to PSQL, SQL water department. I just want to see what this error looks like. Create drop table, drop table. I'm gonna go into Postico and look at my customers to see. So we got first, last. Now I want to change. I'm going to run this migration script, but this time I just want to see what happens. I want to use just one alter table. Go up, pressed up. I'm going to rerun this migrations file into water department. Let's see what happens. Ooh. Syntax error at or near the comma. Rename column first name. Why does it do that?
So if you actually look at PostgreSQL's web page for the documentation, the quote from the manual says all forms of alter table that act on a single table except rename, set schema, attach partition, and detach partition can be combined. So all of them can be combined except for those specific ones.
Postgres.
Because it's a more data
Rename
process. Rename
table.
the entire
Column to get multiple. I'm just trying to find out like why can't I even do rename multiple column query? Yeah. So I have this. I just went to the first one. Renaming. So rename column, we have rename there, first, second. Does it even say it in here? Where?
rename column keep going up. If you rename a multiple column, you must execute the alternate column statement multiple times.
Right here. So to rename columns, yep. Thank you, Ethan. You need to execute alter table rename column statement multiple times.
You rename one column.
There we go. Awesome. So let's go back. Delete that. Let's get back to where we were. I just want to see what happened. Kind of show you kind of like how to go about researching what that is. So the social column has also some dirty data. Some customers have entered their social with dashes, others without, others with spaces. We've decided to store only numbers of the user social, which means all social values should be exactly 9 numbers. Change the column type to allow only 9 characters. So what
I would say is that you do have to actually use characters because there are socials that begin with 0.
So Ethan mentioned like an edge case. What if your social security number starts with a 0 before? Yeah, if it
specifically applied to me, that's why
yeah.
I did it.
So
the first number of my social security number is 0.
So
what are the other ages?
Well, all right. So if when you Postgres, if you use an integer and it has like leading zeros, there's a good chance that it'll drop those zeros. So we're gonna have to use a string. So how can we do alter column? Keep adding on to this?
Yeah.
Or is that?
You just gotta make sure, be careful with your comments and your
Comma, alter column. Which one is this? I'm gonna look at database, social. Social type, varchar. How many characters? 11.
2 dashes.
It says only allow 9 characters.
Only allow 9
some people
characters.
put it in with the dashes, some people without.
So, yes. Let's just keep going because that was pretty straightforward. The account number column has the same issue. The city's account numbers are 14 characters long. Update the column type. Should that be a number or should that be a varchar?
Probably
That's numbers.
They can also start with 0.
Yeah, it's true. So let's be on the safe side. Was it 14? Does anybody have any questions so far?
When you change those types, are you not supposed to set them to not null, or does that matter?
You can do that, but that's just dependent on the requirements of either the challenge or how you want your database to be set up. But you can do not null. How would I incorporate not null in here?
Essentially, the same thing afterwards. You just like, so first name, you change it to type, car. Then after that, you do alter column, first name, set, not null.
So if I wanted to make this, oh, sorry, what was this?
I don't know if that order actually.
You can actually do alter column first name and varchar set.
So if I wanted to do a set a not null here, let's look at the documentation. Type. So I see alter table, supplier, alter column, supplier name, set, not null.
Apparently, you can actually do it in one line.
That works.
Is that what you guys do?
Type. Let's see if this works. Like that. Type, modify. Let's just run it and see what happens. So I'm going to run this migration. Well, first, I want to actually see the database. SQL, water department, customers. So we have first, we still haven't ran it yet because we started fresh. So we want to see count number, barcode. So cool. I'm going to quit. I'm going to run this migration one more time and see what happens. So, so I guess we can't set not null like that. But what if how would we go about doing that?
Alter column count number is set not null.
So based off of,
Would you alter it on its own line?
yep, so right here we have alter column. We're changing the type to characters, and then we're altering the column again, supplier name, and doing set to not null. Let's see if that works. Just copy, paste, comma. Let's run this again.
Would you have to kind of reset the table?
I'm actually going to Google this line just to see what comes up in Google. Oh, look at that. Third table. I want to see set. I don't like that. All right, well, let's just try it. So I'm rerunning this migrations file into water department. Error column first does not exist. Column one. Okay, let's PSQL into our water department. Customers. Awesome. Then we got the not null right here and the account number. Cool. Where are we now? Let's delete this count number. Someone forgot to add a line 2 column. Add one. So I'm gonna just look at customers. Oh, there it is. Line 2. So how I'm gonna add a line 2. Add, based on employees table below, add a column called salary. So we have an alter table employees, add salary, and assign the type. What is it? Alter column, alter table, customers. Let's see if we can do this right here. Alter column, is that right? Add column, just add. add line 2. And let's set it to bar cart.
Didn't it actually put it as an integer?
Let's add.
Oh,
So we're adding another line, and then we're setting the type to, let's just assign it to the same as line 1. Don't forget commas. Let's run this again, running the migration. We're just going to do it one step at a time. Alter table. Great. Let's go back into our database. Let's look at our customers, \d customers. We've got line 2 down here.
And it doesn't matter the order that they're in there because when you access it, you access it in high header anyway.
Yep. So it doesn't matter what order this is actually in. Sorry. So the zip column is currently an integer, but we're losing digits from customers with zip codes that start with zeros. There we go. Change the column type appropriately. Yeah, if you had to. Correct. You can't change the position of the columns, or else the only way to do that is literally dropping the table, and it's it's not that important. All right. So the zip. How can we alter the type for the social? Is it social? No, hold on. The zip code. So we have zip down here. It's an integer.
Same thing we did.
So is it the same one with the social?
Yeah.
Changing the type. Continuing down below. So is it the zip type 8 characters? Or is it zip code's 5?
Plus
4, so, but you also have a dasher.
9, 10.
Let's do 10. No. Let's quit this. Let's rerun this migration file. Oh, line 2 of relation already. All right, let's go into our database to double check. Zip, it's an integer still. What is it?
It crashed because it couldn't add the line because it already exists.
Add line. So let's just comment this out for right now because we've already added it and rerun. So I'm rerunning this migration file because we encountered this error. Column line 2 of relation already exists.
Yeah.
Okay, go into our database, look at the customers, zip code, it's now 10. Very cool. Remove the current balance or cents column. It was added for performance reason, but there's a bug in the application, so let's just get rid of it. How do we get rid? Delete column. Remove. Is it drop? There we go. Drop column and table. Using the Command F on websites to quickly get to where you're looking for. Just kind of like write down what keywords that might be related to what you're looking for. So alter table, table name, drop column, column name. I'm going to copy this. What was it? Current balance column or current balance cents. I'm going to copy this here. Great. Now, keeping the line 2 of the line 2 commented out because it's going to throw an error. So I'm rerunning this migrations script, alter table. I'm gonna go back into the database and just check again, make sure it's been deleted. Right, no longer exists. Cool.
Nice.
All right, we are done with that specific one. Let's go back to, now we're in the statements. Bring in the statements. The customer ID column, let's just view the statements in our D statements. Oh. Customer ID, gallons, cents. So it says the customer ID column allows null values. Change it so a value is required. All right, don't know how to do that. I'm gonna go look. Not null, is that it? Not null. Create tables.
We got in the practice exercise. You're like
Yep.
21 results.
All the way down here. Modify. Let's go into here. So is it this one? Modify.
We'll set not null.
Set. Cool. Here it is. I'm going to use this one. How do I alter the table?
Alter table. Statements.
Statements. Alter column. Customer ID. Set not null. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Let's try. Let's see if it. Quit. Rerunning the migrations file down here. Uh-oh. Does not exist. Alter table, that's fine. I'm gonna clear this. Going back into our water departments, I want to view the statements. So we got customer ID, we set it to not null, set it to not null, great. We've updated our water meters and we can accurately measure fractional gallons. Update gallons used to allow for 2 decimal places. Interesting. Alter column, is that right? Gallons used. I don't know what to do this. Decim type.
I think numeric is the other name for it.
Decimal. You can enter decimal as the,
It's just the name is for the numeric.
and when it shows up in the output, it'll say numeric.
So how do I?
Look up data types in Postgres.
I'm gonna say yeah. How to change?
Or that just you want a list of data types to be used.
Of data types in Postgres. I love documentation. There we go.
Postgres is documentation.
Numeric, integers, floating points.
Arbitrary precision numbers.
Numeric. All right, so the both maximum precision of the maximum scale of numeric column can be figured to declare column type. Okay.
So you need precision and scale, but it tells you just above it what precision and scale is. In that 2 paragraphs. Precision is the total number of significant digits in the whole number,
Yep. Okay.
and the scale is the number of decimal digits.
Perfect. Do we need both?
You need both.
You do need both because otherwise you're only setting precision,
All right.
which would make
Select
your $957 bill. They can chop off everything.
What is floating point?
I think we were specified the 2 digits specifically.
Decimal?
This is what
Or 2 decimal.
Decimal.
Decimal and numeric are the exact same thing.
Yeah.
One's an alias for the other.
Sweet. So let's use numeric.
I like deer.
So is it numeric? Numeric. Precision. 2.
Yes.
What's this one should be?
5.
Let's see.
That's what I put.
You can do 5. Well, 5 means that you can
Go
only
to-
have it go up to $999.95.
Why not?
Let's do 10.
Well, it's gallons used. You have to use 10,000.
Could it be a corporate? Can it be like a building for the city water?
Yeah.
I have an Olympic size pool.
All right. I'm gonna rerun this migrations. Actually, I'm gonna clear it. I'm gonna rerun. Uh-oh. What happened?
You need the word type.
Oh, type? I missed something. Awesome. Type. Let's run this. Go back into database. See what statements. Type, varying, gallons used, numeric. Awesome. So that looks good. Numeric, gallons used. Perfect. Yes.
I used decimal.
It's just an alias for the other. Like, you can use decimal or numeric interchangeably.
They mean the same thing.
Yeah, it's still type column and the output is still saying numeric. You can use decimal.
Let's see what decimal does.
Pretty sure.
Let's run. Let's clear it. We're gonna try, instead of numeric, we're gonna try decimal. So in that decimal variable, looks like it's
You can just keep going.
pretty much the same. So keep going. What did it say? Anyway, let's just try it, see what happens. Run it. We're going to rerun this migrations and change it. Instead of number, we're going to do decimal or numeric to decimal. Let's go into the database and let's look at statements.
It still says
Sta-
numeric
So
because
it's just reverting.
decimal is an alias to the numeric type. So it's just another name that you can use, and it does the exact same thing.
So you can use numeric and decimal interchangeably. Add a default value to payment due. Let's look into that. I'm not quite sure. Let's figure it out. Where'd it go? Where'd that?
It's the default.
Default. Say, how do you add? How to add default value to SQL column? Default constraints. So you just do create table, set default. Alter, I see alter city, set default standards. I'm gonna copy this, use this as a reference. Alter, I'm gonna do column. Look back, alter.
Now, I'm altering
The
the property of the column to be the name.
payment due. Set default, oh, I already have it. What should be the default value? Payment, the default value.
We want to
Payment
update the status comment to be the default status payment. So you're altering status. I think is the Let's pull back up our schema and double check.
Yeah. On, probably. There we go. Default value to status. So default. So alter table, alter. We have to column. Status. Alter column. Set default.
And then actually string.
Payment. Do it. Let's run it. Clear this. What the hell? So I'm going to rerun this migration script. It should be alter balance does not exist. Let's go into our database. View the statements. Status, payment due. How do you guys feel about altering databases? Yeah.
At least figure out where to find.
Remote? What questions do you have?
Looks good.
In the decimal value of
10. So if you look at the documentation, numeric needs a precision, which is, let's see what it says. The precision is a total count of significant digits in the entire, or in the whole number. And then, so. So if you don't have any questions right now, come back at 9:50, and then we'll go into the SQL queries.
And the second, two of them after the decimal point.